Hi everyone, this is Carl. Welcome to Novastar webinar. Today's topic is about memory and module. Before we start, please help check if your mic is muted. And please text me your name, email address, and company name for record privately. We will share the PowerPoint and video in a few days. You can also find all the videos of previous webinars in our YouTube channel. Just search Novastar on it. We also have a Q&A part later. You can type the questions in chat window. After the presentation, we will answer the questions one by one. For questions not relevant to the memory or module, please feel free to email us at northamerican@novastar.tech. Our engineer will follow up and get in touch with you. Now, let's welcome Ricky to start the main course. Hey, Ricky, you can take over now.
Thank you, Carl. Just want to check, am my voice okay? Can everybody hear me? Okay, thank you. Got it. Okay, just want to say thank you all for joining this webinar today. And today's topic is module flash. And we also call it memory on module sometime. And just because on the software is translated to module flash, so that's the name of the topic. Okay, so before actually talking about what is module flash, and everybody saw a flash chip on a module. So this is a back of a module. And if the module is designed with a flash module flash, we should see a driver chip, a chip like this. And that is the SPI flash chip. Or if you want to check whether your module is a module flash compatible, you can also check the pin definition. Like if you check the pin definition here, there's one called SPI MOSI or SPI MISO, and also we have SPI clock and SPI chip slack. Once you have the pin definition with SPI, especially MOSI or MISO, which means a module is designed with module flash. So you will have the module flash function in the future. And then after we know that this is a basic hardware design of the module flash. So if you want to have the module flash on your screen, it should be done at a manufacturer. So they will, when they design the manufacturer, when they design their modules, they should design in the actual circuit and actual SPI flash chip on it. That's not something you can add when you receive your module. That just want everybody aware that that's the work needs to be done by the manufacturer. And today's presentation will talk about what is module flash and how does it work for module flash. And then we will list some scenario of using module flash when you need the module flash and how module flash can help when you work on site. So for the first topic, what is module flash? Here's a case. When we look at a screen, for some reason, the left half of the screen, we just lose the calibration data on the left half of the screen. And the customers find that issue, and then the customer will communicate with the sales representative at the manufacturer, and then the sales manager will contact the support engineer, and then the support engineer will check the calibration data, and they may done that for 2 years, and that screen, which means that screen has been calibrated 2 years ago. So the engineer need to find the data which created 2 years ago. Sometimes the data just lost at the manufacturer. The manufacturer doesn't have the data, the calibration data for the screen at all. So that will be an issue because if there's no original data and we lost the data on the receiving cards, just no data at all, we'd have to recalibrate the screen. But if that screen has been designed with a memory module or a module flash, what do we need to do? Just one click on the software, and we can just easily restore all the calibration database back from the module flash to the receiving card, and we will fix that issue easily, pretty easy. And that's the most things the module flash are designed to solve. And let's see how they work. This is a really simple structure of a cabinet or of a panel. And we can see we have a receiving card in the middle, and we have another four modules. And here's a flash. Here's a flash which is on the receiving card. We use A8S as an example here. And there's a flash on the receiving card which is saving the calibration data. And if the LED module are designed with a module flash, which means each module should have one flash chip on it. And just want to say that during the normal running procedure of the control system, we always using the data, the calibration data on the receiving card. It's always on the receiving card, which means if you want to make sure the calibration data is correct on the screen, we need to make sure the data is correct on the flash on the receiving card. So by checking when this and the system is working, it's by checking whether we have correct coefficients on the receiving card. We can just check from the software, and this is the main page of the module flash. And you can see we can easily select better topology of the screen, select which panel we're going to configure. And for the operation above, checking whether we have correct correct data on the receiving card, we can just click, there's a button called View Receiving Card Calibration Data. By click that button, we can just check the result on the screen, whether the calibration data is good. And also, let's go back to the structure again. If you want to check whether the calibration data is correct on each single LED module, which means we need to make that four flashes on the 4 modules to be correct, and we have to enable or to use the calibration from the module. And in that case, we can just click View Module Calibration Coefficients. So by click those two buttons here, we are able to check whether we have correct calibration coefficients on module and on receiving cards. So once we know how to check the calibration data on receiving cards or on the module, then we in the real world, we may meet some scenario, and we just listed 3 most of the common use scenario of using module flash. The first one is after we replace the module. So we can see here we have a module a block here with a different brightness, and it's really blocky and noisy. And we just simulate this is a new module, and we just with a bad module, and we just replace with a new module. And then we just check, and we just check, okay, this is the top right module of that cabinet. And then after finish, or after we located where the module is, then we just go back to the structure again. So in that case, which means after we replace the module, the new module which is on the top right corner, which is here, because the module holds its own calibration data. So the module, it's always taking the correct calibration data with it. But the data on the receiving cards, which is incorrect, because the calibration data is for the old module. So that's why when you replace with new module, the brightness may different and it's noisy. That's just because the receiving card is using the calibration data for the old module. So in that case, what we should do is to put the calibration from the flash on the module to the receiving card. Once we've done that, the receiving card will have the correct calibration data for the new module. And then if I click that, this is the save calibration coefficients, that button on the receiving card. Well, that will save the calibration from the module to the receiving cards. And now after we've done that, the new module will look uniform as the others. This is the first scenario after we replace the module, and we just take one module here as an example. If you replace multiple modules, it's the same thing. And the second scenario is after we replace the whole receiving card. Like right now, the whole panel consists of 4 modules. The whole panel, after we replace a new receiving card, and it becomes noisy and with different brightness and color again. So let's check the structure again. In this case, just all modules stay there, stay the same position. We just replace the receiving card, right? So the new receiving card doesn't have any conditions for those 4 modules, which means that currently the calibration data is wrong in the new receiving card. And so in this case, what we need to do is to push the calibration data from all the 4 modules to the receiving card to make sure receiving card have the correct coefficients. Just like that. After we click the save calibration coefficients to the receiving card, and the new receiving card will have the correct coefficients for those 4 modules. And after we've done that, that section or that panel will show the uniform brightness and color as the others. This is scenario for replace receiving card. And usually those 2 are most common problems or scenario when we use the module flash. And the third scenario, which is there's no coefficients on the modules at all. It's not common, but It's happened because for some the whole screen calibration, we calibration the screen on site with the screen calibration system. After the screen calibration, the calibration will only save to the receiving card, which means we have to manually save the calibration data from the receiving card to the modules. But this is one case when there's no calibration on the module, or for some reason the data is lost on the module. So when there's no calibration data on the modules, when we checking the first one, view receiving card calibration data, that's for checking the data on the receiving card, and it's okay because the data on the receiving card just is fine. And then after that, when we checking the calibration data on the module, I click the view module calibration coefficients, that button. After we click that, we'll have maybe you will see like this. This is an example. You have one panel that was different color, which means that panel or the modules on that panel is holding wrong calibration data on the module flash. And in this case, by checking the structure, right now, the logic is opposite, which means because there's no calibration data on the module, so for each module, the calibration data on each module is incorrect. It's all wrong, or there's no data at all. But on the receiving card, the data is good. So in this case, we'll push the calibration data from the receiving card to the modules. And there's still just one button on the software that we just click, save the data from the receiving card to the module, and then the system will push the data and will save the calibration data to each single LD module automatically. And after that, we go back to click the view module calibration coefficients. When we click the button again, you will see that panel will have uniform brightness and color again. So there are 3 scenarios when we use module flash. Okay, and for this presentation today, for those 2 topics, what is module flash and a scenario of using the module flash. After this webinar, we just want everybody to know why you need module flash and how module flash can help you on site. And for the detailed operation, it's not included in this presentation, but after the webinar, we do have a document, another presentation with the step-by-step operation of the memory module we can share with all of you. And we can just have a really quick go through with the new presentation, another presentation with the step-by-step operation. So in this presentation, we talk about the operation of the module flash. It gives you step-by-step. So firstly, click that button, and it just marks which button or which option you need to select and how can we go to the module flash page. And once we go to the module flash page, and we can select by the address, like which receiving card on which output port on which sending card. This is physical address. Or we can just select the whole screen if you want to check the conditions for the whole screen, or if you want to check like the demo I used today by checking which is one single panel by selecting by the topology. And when we select the one panel or the whole screen or whatever or area you want to check, you can just click on view receiving card for checking the receiving card, and also view the module calibration to check the flash data on the module. And if the module is right, and we can just click save calibration data to the modules. And also, in the end of this presentation, which we're gonna share with you after this webinar, with the simple troubleshoot of the module flash. And when the software indicates this is hardware failure, and then we have some possible reasons, and the software indicates there's a communication error, or the software indicates this abnormal flash arrangement. For those three cases, we will also list out the possible reasons for troubleshoot. And for now, that's all for today's topic, module flash. And basically, we just want everybody know how to use the module flash, how the module flash can help you on site. And if you have any question, just please send it to the chat window, and we will have someone answer the questions one by one later.
Hello everyone,